Ham Radio 2.0, live from the Ham Shack. No, it's not live. It's actually live recorded, which means I'm not reading from a script. I'm not, I haven't practiced this other than just thinking about what I'm going to say. So it is live from the Ham Shack, as in, this is just right off the top of my head. So maybe one day we'll actually do a live video. Probably at a ham fest. Maybe at Dayton, maybe at HamCom in Texas. Something like that. I don't know yet. Anyway, let's kick off Ham Radio 2.0, episode 41. The Wouxun, or Ochang, however you want to say it, KG-UV8 Echo Triband HT radio. And here's my intro. Okay. I didn't put the intro at the front that time, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so we've got the KG-UV8E Triband HT, which incorporates 2 meter, 220, and 440. Picked that up at Dayton Hamvention in May of 2016, which that was the last video you saw. Some people have commented, and I noticed this myself, but I didn't notice it until after I'd uploaded, that the intro video had the audio in the intro video was a little bit overdriven, was a little bit clipping when I got too close to the mic. And it's not really me getting too close to the mic, it's a setting inside the camera back there that you can't see, where the microphone plugs directly into the camera. And it's I can't see it. There's not a meter or something. So, this is another example of why I need better equipment. It's going pretty good, actually. So this is an example of and the equipment I've got is pretty good. I've upgraded my lighting system. You can see the lights that are shining on me now. There's kind of in the screen right there. They're kind of reflecting. So I got a pretty good light system. I got a microphone. The camera I have is pretty good, but the audio connection between the microphone and the camera, I need to work on that. There's a device called Tascom makes one. There's another company called Zoom that makes a device that will take the Tascom one only takes one input and has one output, but it kind of regulates your audio so that you can adjust it on the fly instead of having to. Because I'd have to stop to adjust my audio right now. I'd have to stop the recording on the camera and adjust it in the back of the camera. Instead, this thing is external to the camera, and you can adjust it kind of up and down as you're recording. And then there's another, the Zoom one. It'll take multiple inputs, so I can have two cameras or two microphones going at the same time. So if I ever do interviews, I can plug two microphones into the audio recording device, and that's kind of my goal. That's where I'd like to go. But anyway, so it's a work in progress. The equipment that I have now is not all that expensive. I'm going to be picking up a new next month at HamCom, which I'll be recording a documentary video of HamCom in Texas, which is the West Gulf Division ARRL Division show, and so it brings people from all over. It's the biggest ham fest in Texas. And it happens in Irving, Texas, which is about a 20-minute drive from me. It's not very far at all, obviously. But I'll be recording I'll be documenting footage at that show, but I'll also be giving a 1-hour presentation on DMR on Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. during that show. And that will, I'd like to have a better camera than the one I've got, than the one I'm talking into right now, because there's a couple different reasons. The audio is one, and this one will only record for a certain amount of time, and something about the software won't let it record over 4 gigabytes worth of video. It just stops, so you have to hit start again. That's why you see a lot of my segments, that's why they're short, because I can't record more than, it's about 12, 13 minutes, something like that at a time, and then the camera will just stop. And I looked it up online, and looked up the camera model, and they said, yeah, that's just how this camera is. It's a DSLR. It's a digital SLR camera. So it's not really a video camera. It's a digital SLR still camera that does video. So I'm probably going to invest probably this weekend in a new video camera. And I might go ahead and get a new headset with it and a new audio adjustment. An audio recorder that'll take be able to adjust the audio gain between the mic and the camera without having to stop the camera, that kind of thing. Plus, the video camera that I'm looking at buying is much higher quality than this one anyway. Anyway, that's those of you who have donated to me. I appreciate it very much. And I finance most of this myself, and that's okay. I enjoy doing it. But the donations that some of you have given, that's where it goes. It goes to better video equipment, audio equipment, lighting equipment. It does pay for some travel expenses here and there. Actually, most of it I've spent on equipment to date. To date, all the money I've received, I've spent on equipment. I've incurred some advertising expenses, but that was kind of my own thing. I put Ham Radio 2.0 in the May edition of QST last month. If you've got the June edition that came out for Field Day, I'm not in that one. So I'll probably do it again in a few months. I don't know when yet, but that's where the money goes. It's upgrading of equipment and things like that. So if you ever wonder what I spend the donations on, that's what it is. Anyway, let's get to the point here. So I fixed the microphone gain, so the audio should sound a lot better right now. And we're going to go ahead and move forward with this video. And again, this is going to be the Wouxun KG-UV8E, UV8 Echo. It is the Triband version of the UV8 Delta that I've carried around for, year and a half, 2 years. That's my main carry radio. It's got 999 memory channels, and it's a dual band. It'll do crossband repeat. I've never used it for that. It's got an extended battery on it. That's a 2600 milliamp hour battery. Comes with a 17 or 1800 milliamp hour battery, but I've traded that out a long time ago. And if I turn the radio on and leave it on for a week without transmitting, just monitoring, that 2600 milliamp battery will power that radio for a week if you're just listening to it. So I think they've got an extended battery for the UV8 Echo. We're going to look at that here in a minute. But the Echo model incorporates 220, and 220 is getting really big in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I talk on 220 probably about once, maybe twice a week. There's a net on 220 that happens on 224.78 out of Fort Worth, and that repeater's in Fort Worth. The guys who run it are down around the Mansfield area, and so they run that net at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on 224.780 every Thursday evening. And the PL tone is 110.9. So if you're in the area, I know they would love to have you join in the net. They usually have anywhere from 5 to 15 check-ins. It's actually pretty good for a 220 net. It's a good number of people that are out there. But this radio, this new Triband HT that we're going to look at here in a minute, it'll be able to monitor that frequency. I can't hit that repeater from an HT from Grapevine, but I can hit the Arlington machine at 224.800, same PL tone, 110.9. It's got a really good range on it. That one and the Denton repeater, the Arlington repeater at 224.800 and the Denton repeater at 224.920 are probably the two machines in this area with the best coverage. Although there's probably 10 or 11 machines, and since the noise floor is so low on 220, they all have really good coverage, but 224.800 in Arlington and 224.920 in Denton are probably the two most widespread machines in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So 220's up and coming. I really like it. I really like talking on 220. It's a good band. It's very low noise, and a lot more people are starting to get out there. So that's a good thing. So I've been looking forward to this radio for a long time. Wouxun's been talking about it for a year or more, and it's finally here, and we're going to take a look at it today. So thank you for watching. If you found me on YouTube, go hit me up on my website, livefromthehamshack.tv, where you will be able to see all the videos I've done and read up about me, what I'm doing, and what I'm planning to do moving forward. 73, guys, let's take a look at this new Triband HT from Wouxun.
this is the KG-UV8E, obviously. This is the 8E right here, and this is the 8D on the right of the screen. So, I wanted you to see how they differed. There's not much difference in them. They're kind of basically the same. The buttons have a little bit different font on them. The face is a little bit different in the way it's designed, but I mean, they're pretty darn close to being the same. Obviously, I've unboxed this already. I actually unboxed this like the hour that I got it. It does come with a manual, so you got a UV8E manual. It comes with the charger, the belt clip, the antenna, which is on the radio, little strap. The reason that the charger is not in the this for the charging cord. The reason the charger is still in the box is because I've been using my UV8D charger. So the UV8D charger will charge the UV8E radio. I assume vice versa. I haven't even taken my UV8E charger out yet. So, there's that. And like always, I forgot to put the manual back in. And this is something I've been wondering about here. So, the UV8E, I haven't put the belt clip on it yet, but this battery comes with, here's your FCC number right here. This radio, the UV8E, comes with a 1700 milliamp hour battery. I think that's the same as the UV8D. I upgraded my UV8D to the 2600 milliamp hour battery a long time ago, and I haven't picked up my normal battery in a while. But the UV8E will take the standard UV8D battery. The UV9D is different. It's a different configuration. So Wouxun did this correctly, where they named this an 8E instead of a 9E. Because if it was the configuration of a 9E, but an 8E model number, I think that would have been wrong. So they basically took the UV8D up, changed the design on it a little bit, added 220 of course, and then kept the form factor the same because it fits in the same charger and it takes the 2600 milliamp hour battery. There's that. So there's that right there. As you can see on the face, put it in front of the camera here, it's got 220 up top, 144 down at the bottom. I put these channels, or I'm sorry, that's 440 down at the bottom. Put these channels in last night. There's 145.400, which is a local repeater on the bottom. 222.025, that was in the radio out of the box. And then I put these 440 local 440 repeaters in it last night. So there's that right there. KC5 HWB testing. See if anybody's out there. This is one of our local repeaters I talk on pretty regularly. As nobody's monitoring today. So this segment of the video is actually being shot on Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day to everyone out there, veterans especially. Thank you very much for your service. And just remember those veterans that are part of your family, or those that are around you, might be part of your community, work with, go to church with, whatever. And be sure and thank them for this year's Memorial Day 2016. So let's hook up this. You can see the bird watt meter I got right here. I don't have a slug for, go ahead and give this a really quick rundown. This port here and this port here for holding extra slugs. This right here is what's called a slug. That's what they call it. And it goes into the meter right there. This slug, if you can see that in the camera, is a 250 watt slug for 400 to 1000 megahertz. So I'll be able to test some 440 radios, some 900 radios with this in the amateur market. this slug here, there it is. These are, again, these are just extra holders for the slugs that you put your slug in here, then, so basically you can have 1 meter to do everything. The slug is what tells you what you're doing. This slug here, this one was expensive. This is a 2500 watt slug for 2 to 30 megahertz, so all of HF. So I'll be able to do, I won't be able to do 160 meters, but I'll be able to do 10 meters through 80 meters on this slug here. And then they have a slug that'll go from like 50 to 150, so you can do 6 meters and 2 meters, and that kind of thing. I don't have a slug. Actually, I have another slug around here somewhere. These 2 slugs I bought from the same guy. Well, no, these 2 slugs I bought at Dayton Hamvention a couple weekends ago. This meter I got from a guy selling used meters at the Ardmore Hamfest last fall. And then I picked up a couple other slugs somewhere, and I got to find out what I did with those because I don't know. Anyway, I've got some slugs around here somewhere that I think I've got one. The 2 that I had were low wattage ones. One was like 2.5 watts and one was like 5 watts, I think. So, but I think it did cover 2 meters and 220. But I don't have those. I got to find those. I don't know where they went. So I don't have those with me today. So we're not going to be using the bird watt meter today. I'm going to go back to my trusty MFJ meter today. Set that off to the side here. And I just want to do a test, basically. Same standard SMA female connection on the bottom, which means your antenna is an SMA male. So you want so if you want to upgrade the antenna, you want an SMA male antenna, but you want to make sure you get one that's Triband. So if you got a Nagoya 771, it's not going to work for this radio unless you never use it on 220. It'll work for 2 meter 440, obviously, because it's a dual band antenna. But it won't work on the 3rd band. I assume that most people who would buy this radio probably want the 3rd band. Otherwise, why not just buy a UV9D or UV8D, whichever. So, top band, I'm going to go to 146 520. Got some activity out there. Although we're getting into a dummy load, so I probably got interference from somebody. Okay, I'm going to go in here and turn off the offset so that I'm keying up simplex. Or wait, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to turn off the shift to off. So we're keying up simplex. Okay, and it's on high power. I'm just going to do a high power test on this one. Okay, so we're keying up 146 520 right there. You can see that. And I'm on the 20 watt scale, 5 watt scale, about 4.5 watts. 4.5 watts on 520. 223 500 is the 220 band. And again, we're still on high power. About 4 watts on 220. Right there. And then 446.0 is the UHF calling frequency, and right about 4 watts right there. So it's doing about 4 watt on this this specific radio and meter. It's doing right at 4 watts per band. So it's got a great receiver in it though. There's a repeater in Arlington that I've mentioned before at 224.800. And it's quite a bit south of where I'm at right now. And remember, we're on an HT. Actually, I don't know if I saved that. Hold on. I know where it's at. There it is. No, that's not it. Maybe it's up here. Okay, well, 224.800. I'm going to turn my offset back on. Nope. And then I'm going to change my offset. Okay, so here is the 224.800 repeater. So I just put it over here, 224.800 minus offset 1.6 megahertz. I don't know if that's triggering the camera. I wonder what that looks like. KC5H WB testing. There you go. I'm inside the shack, keying in the Arlington repeater from Grapevine. It's probably 15, 16, maybe 20 miles away, something like that. And that's a great repeater, don't get me wrong. The repeater has excellent coverage. And my voice is probably really scratchy into it, but it's keying the repeater. And that's good. And that's I think that's the closest repeater to me. I don't think I'd be able to key Denton. No. So, anyway. That is that. Neat little radio. I highly recommend it. This is going to become my daily carry. Been carrying this one daily for, 2 years, something like that. It's a good little radio. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to switch to the Triband so that I've got 3 bands instead of 2.
There you have the Wouxun KG-UV8E, E like Echo, Triband HT. This is going to be my new favorite, I think. The test results, just some field test results I've done with it myself, have been very positive. And I like the UV8D, and I carried it for a long time. And it seems like all the accessories for the UV8D fit on the Delta model. All the accessories fit on the Echo model. So, of course, it's just the standard 2-prong Kenwood plug for programming with the standard Wouxun cable, and it has and of course microphone also, Wouxun programming cable and microphone. But the batteries from the UV8D fit the UV8E, and the battery charger fits. So if you've already got an 8D and you want a Triband version, you just grab the 8E, drop it in the same charger, use your 2600 milliamp battery, and go from there, and it'll all work. I do have those batteries on my website also at grapevineamateurradio.com. So you'll notice that this shot is a bit different from the opening scene. It's actually the day after. I shot the opening scene yesterday, and I shot the unboxing and testing of the radio that you just saw. I shot that today. And but back here is I'm finally starting to get my shack cleaned up to where I can actually look like a ham shack, I guess. So usually the couch that I was sitting on before was right there. Of course, I still got 2 lights behind me. I've got my Go kit over here to my left. It'll be the camera's right. And then back here I've got this. This is a Yaesu FT101EE with a FT1200B amplifier. I picked those up. I've also got the VFO-B for it. That'll probably go sit over there in the matching speaker. Picked those up at a Hamfest late last year, 2015, and they've got a couple of issues with them, which the guy, when I bought them, the guy told me that they had a couple issues. I think that the transmitter needs to be realigned on the radio, and then the amp needs to be, something needs to be checked on the amp. It powers on and it transmits, but it doesn't transmit to full capacity. I don't know if it's a tube or what it is, but so I got a friend of mine who really likes these radios, and he really likes the old Yaesu radio, so he's going to look at it for me and see what we can get on it. But anyway, so that's the desk behind me. I don't know if you can see it yeah, you can see part of it right there. That is my DMR repeater in an 8U case. Probably going to change that out and put it in a 6U case that I've got that's got wheels on it, so I can roll it back and forth to Hamfest. You'll see that that repeater will be set up at the Hamcom Hamfest on June 10th and 11th, I think it is, Friday and Saturday, in Irving, Texas, which is the biggest Hamfest in Texas. I'll be doing some footage from that show. I'll have a table at that show, and if anyone's coming out to Hamcom, you're welcome to use my repeater. It will be hooked up to a 3G hotspot, and will be live the whole time. Actually, vendor setup is Thursday night, so I'll be there Thursday evening, from 3 to 8 or something like that. And so I'll be there Thursday evening around 4 or 5, and I'll set up all my stuff, my table and everything, and we'll set up the repeater with an indoor antenna so that we will have full DMR coverage inside of the Irving Convention Center. which is kind of, it's a big, people called it last year, people called it the big Faraday cage because it's a big metal building. So signals can kind of get into it and kind of not, but it's kind of spotty, if at least. So I'll have the DMR repeater set up inside of the convention center, connected to the internet and connected to the C bridge just like it is right now. So if you're interested in using this repeater, 440.5125 +5 offset, color code 9, and Texas DFW Metro, Texas statewide, Texas Oklahoma regional, TAC 310, 311, COM 1 and 2, no, not COM 1, COM 2, COM 2, several other regional. Well, it's got access to all regionals, all 6 or 7 regional territories throughout the country are available, and this is all on time slot 2. Time slot 1, the only thing on time slot 1 is Worldwide, North America, and COM 1. Everything else is on time slot 2. For a complete list of all the talk groups available on my repeater for the C bridge that I'm connected to, go to k4usd.org, k4 uniform Sierra Delta.org, and you'll be able to see everything there. Again, my frequency is 440.5125, color code 9, +5 offset, and you're welcome to use the repeater at HamCom coming up next month. So thanks for watching, guys. I should have some of these HTs in. I keep babbling on about everything except the Wouxun, which is what this video is over. I should have some of these HTs in by HamCom as well. I've got a couple right now is all, but I should have a couple of cases in them of them by the time HamCom gets here. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a really good radio for those of you who are interested in it. So 73, thank you for watching. If you found me on YouTube, go hit up my website, livefromthehamshack.tv. This will be episode 41 of Ham Radio 2.0. And we're going to be getting some really cool stuff this summer. 73, guys, thanks for watching. Hope to hear you out there.